Greetings and salutations. How's it going, everybody? It's Danthol, and we're back for another episode of Virtual Reality in VR. Virtual Reality is a show about virtual reality in virtual reality. As you can see, you can look around the room and you can see all of my crazy art and stuff like that. We'll put some videos up here and screenshots and AI images. That's what we do. We talk mostly about the Quest 3 and the Quest 2 and the Quest and virtual reality and all that kind of stuff. This week, we're talking about Meta Quest Plus. If you're searching on the internet, make sure you don't search for just Quest Plus, because Quest Plus is a type of horse dewormer medication. So if you look up here, you'll see some pictures of horses asking if Quest Plus is right for them. And maybe you're asking if the Meta Quest Plus is right for you. We've talked about the MetaQuest Plus whole subscription thing. It started last year, I think in June or something like that. And basically it's $7.99 per month. You get 2 games and you get to keep those games so long as you're subscribed. So if you subscribe for 1 month, you get the 2 games. If you don't subscribe for the next month, then you can't play those games anymore because you're not subscribed. But you can skip a month and go to a third month. And when you subscribe on that month, you get that month's 2 games. And then you can play the 2 games that you did previously on your account. And the Quest 3, the 256 gigabyte model, or the 512, I forget which, I think it's the 512. I forgot. I bought the cheaper one for $4.99 and saved myself some money on the storage, and so I could buy more software. Anyways, I digress. Who really would want to, if you didn't want those games that came out that month, then why subscribe? And why put yourself in for, you have to excuse me, I get very self-conscious. This is a very personal kind of thing, the whole virtual reality thing. Like if I have a booger in my nose or a little bit of excess spit in my mouth, it shows up on camera. I'm like, oh God, I hope they're looking at the videos. I put fun things to look over here so you don't have to look at me the whole show, but you can look down and see what different records I put in different places and toys and art. Anyways. As you can see by everything around here, I'm a little bit undiagnosed ADHD. MetaQuest Plus. What I was saying in previous episodes is, why would you only subscribe just for 2 games for $7.99? Most of the games that were coming out were $14.99 anyways, and if you waited on sale, you could buy the game and not have to play with a subscription model. I subscribed for 2 different months because there were some games that I was kind of interested in, but I didn't want to do it for the whole year or for the 6 months. That's what I was talking about earlier. The higher gigabyte model of the Quest 3, well, if you bought that, it came with 6 months of the Quest Plus subscription service. But now, instead of just 2 games a month, they gave us a 13 game catalog with all kinds of games from the Quest library, and they're still giving you 2 extra games. That's the one thing I didn't put on here. I think this month's games are Contractors, and another one, I'll find the name of it, or I'll put the text or a video of the other Quest 2. I didn't put it in my notes. It's the one thing I didn't put in my notes because I was so focused on the 13 games. I'm very excited about the 13 games. The games are The Climb, which is a 7-year-old game. Still looks like it's kind of fun. You're climbing rocks, you're doing things, and it looks like you get to jump off the top in a wingsuit and kind of fly down, so that's fun. You got Demio, which I think is the biggest hitter of all of these, the biggest game, the most AAA, AA VR game. It's a board game, kind of adventure. You can play it with friends in your room, in a room scale kind of thing. I think most people know what Demio is if you've been into VR for a while. Espire 1, which is Espire 1 VR Operative. It's a stealth shooter kind of thing, climb through the air ducts and then go and hit people on the back of the head with a gun and some gun shooting and gunplay. It looks like it's fun. Jurassic World Aftermath, which is a cel-shaded stealth kind of game, it's a game for kids, it kind of looks like. Most of the time you're just going around and hiding and climbing and doing stuff. And then you'll have some dinosaurs that do jump scares. I don't know. I tried to research to see why they called it Aftermath Collection. I think it includes whatever DLC came out for it. I didn't get this game back in the Quest 2. When the Quest 2 came out, I was more excited to play things like Population 1 and stuff like that. So I kind of skipped that one. Red Matter, which is one of the more graphically impressive games when they were talking about on the Quest 2, was like, oh, this is so great. You get so excited and you're going, it's kind of a creepy sci-fi space station solving puzzles, doing things with your hands, watching the story unfold. We have the Township Tale, which is a VR crafting and social game. So like you go and you get sticks and rocks and whatever, and then you make a backpack and you go do more and more like advanced crafting things. Some of them take other people to help you, but there are always people there that want to help you and kind of go through. So it's kind of got a little bit of an MMO thing, but it's all crafting. We got Sports Scramble, which is what they call like the Wii Sports for the Wii Sports of VR. It's got funny things like you'll be bowling and then you'll be bowling with a basketball or bowling with a football or bowling with other things, and then you'll be playing baseball. Then you'll be, instead of rolling a baseball or throwing a baseball, you'll be rolling a bowling ball, and it kind of switches up. And you'll play tennis, and then you're playing tennis, and then you're playing racquetballs, and then it turns into a basketball. So it's kind of like a goofy Wii Sports kind of fun thing. It reminds me a little bit of What the Golf, and to kind of switching your expectations. Then we have Until You Fall, which is a hack and slash roguelike. And see a lot of sword play and moving and doing things, and it's roguelike, so it's not ever going to be exactly the same game every time. That one definitely looks fun. We got Fruit Ninja, which everybody knows what Fruit Ninja is. I reviewed the Fruit Ninja 2 demo in an earlier episode, and I wasn't really impressed by that because I thought they made it a little bit too much like Beat Saber. But then I played the original Fruit Ninja, and I'm like, I wish this is a little bit more like Beat Saber. Fruit Ninja was fun when it was a tablet game. The whole idea of slashing and doing things with your fingers, and that was fun. And then they turned it into like a Kinect game, to where you're moving your hands and you're doing the slashing and chopping and everything Kinect. That was fun. Then they turned it into a VR game. And I remember playing the original Fruit Ninja on the PlayStation VR, and it was okay. But I always knew it always felt really short, like there's not a lot to it. You have like, excuse me. Okay, better. You have, some different swords you can use. You have some different modes you can do. There's a Zen mode where you're just kind of chopping and there's no bombs really to deal with. And then there's modes where you have to deal. What else? You've seen Fruit Ninja. Everybody knows what Fruit Ninja is. They have the Hand Physics Lab, which is a game that you use in your hand tracking with. And there's a lot of puzzles and things to do. You can pet cats and you can solve puzzles and you can get the little maze thing with the ball and you move it and you do that. And then there's a variety of other things you can do with your hands, and you can kind of see the bones. And it looks neat. It's one of those ones that I kept on wanting to pick up on the Quest 2 back in the day, to see how the hand tracking worked. I just never really wanted to spend the money on it. Then we got Walkabout Mini Golf, which we all know what mini golf is. It's the base part of the game, so I'm sure they're hoping that you buy the DLC and kind of go with that. But it's a solid game for, being in the library. We have Onward, which just recently released their Mercenary mode, which I guess is more like a battle royale, with all of the kind of physics and how Onward works. And then we have 2MD Football. Now, the original lists were showing that it was going to be Moss. What is going to be in here? Moss, the game with the little mouse that runs around and you see, the story of war and everything like that. Moss came off of the list and 2MD Football came on. 2MD Football is, it's a football game. And I remember also playing that on the PlayStation VR. So here we go. Now we have these 13 core games. If you subscribe right now for a year, you also get a $25 credit. So I got it for the year, got my $25 credit. I might go buy like Moss just independently with my credit or something else. Maybe some DLC for Synth Riders or Beat Saber. Beat Saber is going to be having a Daft Punk DLC pack coming out soon, and everybody's like, "Oh, it seems like this is the most logical thing." You know, it's like we've needed Daft Punk forever. I'd love to see some Daft Punk and maybe even some Nine Inch Nails. I think that would be fun. Bring in some of that heavier electronic music. I think what would be the most awesome thing that they can do for Beat Sabers is kind of do what Guitar Hero did. Guitar Hero went Guitar Hero Live, where you had a subscription service, and it was kind of like channels that you would go on to that had music that everybody was kind of playing, but you didn't pick the songs, you just went on and that channel was going and the songs would be mixed up and different, and it was kind of like a live service for music you can play. I'd love to see something like that. Maybe just like a radio station, something that comes up that you can go in between, 8 and 9 on Sunday, and then there's a live DJ, or do it for a couple hours where they mix the songs up and you play Beat Saber and you kind of get that. I think they could do so much more with Beat Saber, whatever. But it's good we're having a Daft Punk. I'm really getting off on a tangent about Beat Saber. Just like my fantasies of what else could they do with these kind of games to engage more instead of having to deal with just the limited libraries. Get cross promotions with the artists. They have new albums, they have things coming out. Get a Taylor Swift pack or something like that going on there too. That's a fantasy. Who knows if VR will get there that day? But that's what I've been keeping up with my gamer sizing. Just kind of trying to mix things up a little bit more. I've been playing Synth Riders. If you go into the settings and room scale, you can set your room scale to a lot bigger, and then the spheres like a lot further apart. You're over here and you're over here and you're ducking and you're moving and you're really doing your thing. So setting the room scale up on there was fun. Also went in the backyard and played some Beat Saber in 360 mode. There's a whole grip of songs that have 360 modes in there, and it's really neat because you have to physically move in your space. You have to come over here and chop, and then you have to come over here and chop and turn, and then you're going and you're over here and so it's fun. It's fun to kind of mix those things up. So I'm glad that some of my favorite rhythm game and exercise, kind of stuff, I can mix that up there. But with all of these games, it's going to be fun to see everything else that I'm going to be able to play with. I just got to bring up my notes on my phone here. One thing that I was kind of looking at, though, when I was looking at these games is The Climb. Quest 1 game, Demia, Quest 1 game, Aspire 1, Jurassic World, Red Matter, A Township Tale, Sports Scramble, Until You Fall, Fruit Ninja. All of these games completely compatible with Quest 1, which, I guess if you still have a Quest 1, you can get this service and it's still beneficial to you. Hand Physics Lab requires a Quest 2, of course, because it's hand tracking. Mini Golf 2, also a Quest 2 game. Outward Mercenary Mode is a Quest 1. And 2MD Football, also a Quest 1 game. So it's relatively backward compatible if you have a Quest 1 or a Quest 2. There's no reason to not get the service. I'm waiting to see how long it will take until they add Quest 3 only games into this service now. I'll have it for the whole year, so I'll be able to figure out. I'll see what they come up with the Quest Plus library. Anyways, we'll kind of keep it to that this week. We'll keep it a little easy on the listening time and watching time and everything. Thank you once again for watching another episode of Virtual Reality in VR. Once again, I'm Danthol. Have a good one.